at least, I believe, qualified for the minor qualifiers. So we'll see how this series ends out. It'll give us a better picture of where the groups are going to end up.
10 seconds remaining.
So Morphling picked up here for IG. We had seen that more towards the end of the day yesterday. You've got this Bristle as well as the Keeper of the Light, Kato, who has been very important in these drafts. It brings a lot of control, brings a lot of opportunity in harassment, and as well as with the Bristleback, always a strong combination with the Chakra Magic. Shadow Shaman coming in. We saw his strengths yesterday with his Hex, his long-range Shackles. You know, he brings control to the game as well, and
Dire team pick.
I'll be honest, I wouldn't be surprised to see a D-Stones Invoker come out. Get the Undying, which, to me, you know, I'm not a huge fan of the Undying. Personally, I feel like it's a hero that kind of... that just kind of doesn't do much after 5 minutes. Now, that's just a personal belief. I don't really know if that's entirely true. You look back to something like Reshuffle Madness that had shown the strengths of Undying. You know, you show those strengths, it wasn't exactly what I was, or what I'm preaching, I guess.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
So, Bat Rider picked here. I think that throws Bristle in a 1 position. Still needing a mid.
Dire team ban.
So, still needing a mid and, well, still trying to see what they're going to go for. Again, D-Stone's Voker is always pretty strong.
10 seconds
We've been seeing a lot of Sniper, a lot of Zeus.
5 seconds remaining.
At least in Group A. I can't really speak for Group B. But I could see Sniper, Zeus, Ember, TA. Yeah, pretty much the same throughout the region. Death Prophet, though, for Keen Gaming in Game 1 against CDC yesterday. Didn't work for them. Aster split with Newbie. That group's a lot closer, it seems. They had 3 1-1s, whereas we had 2. But Aster right now, 3 points, leading the way. Royal Never Give Up, they had got 2-0'd by Aster, which I was probably not expecting. I think Royal Never Give Up is a very strong team. They've been the Lifestealer, no surprise.
Radiant team pick.
And they go Leshrac, so... Leshrac mid, Bristle safe lane, that's a Doodle Bristle. HYM on the Shadow Shaman, Mad on the Coddle.
10 seconds remaining.
All you guys just joining me here in chat. There is a delay between what I read and obviously me responding to it. So if you do ask something, you know, and I feel inclined to answer, I will. They go Zeus. Exactly what we were talking about. Zeus. So, okay. I'm not too sure how I feel about this. But we'll see. I think there's a lot of catch here for Sirius, where IG Not really. Avalanche Toss, Arrow, Adaptive Strike. But personally, I think it's a rough lineup, at least in my eyes. It's It's a rough lineup in the lack of catch, but at the same time, I could see them making it work. They just have to be tough through the early mid game. So will we doodle on that safe lane Bristle, off lane Bat, mid D-Stones, Leshrac? Like, I think there's so much pressure that could be put on here from Team Sirius. You know, you've got the push potential of the Shadow Shaman as well as the Leshrac here. The tankiness of the Bristleback. Definitely an interesting group on the other side.
Prepare for battle.
I never understand why things... The first game I load into is always a bit laggy. Always odd. So yes, it can be a little different today. Yesterday I was casting with Neff. Today is a little bit different. Just me for now. Maybe later in the day we have somebody join us. I'm not entirely sure. I'm still trying to convince someone to join. But that person is a maybe. But leaning on the edge of no. I'd love for him to join us. And you'd love it too. But we'll see if I can convince him to join.
30 seconds to battle.
Two-legged abomination.
So, D-Stones, we'll keep it mid. No switches so far, but they'll have Doodle here with Mad. No surprise, you want that Chakra Magic. Something that Neff said to me yesterday stuck with me, where you take Viscous Nasal Goo early. You know, that armor reduction and early on having that chase ability, you could go and just throw a Blinding Light, put him back into your hands, maybe continue to give chase with a Shadow Shaman nearby. But for right now, at least, it's a 2-1-2. Batrider usually played aggressively. We see you go 2-3 stacks with Sticky Napalm and Fireflies available. They're going to go. They're going to try and get that kill, especially with Shadow Shaman, who could throw a Hex and a Shackle out, lock you down, and get a kill. So let's see how this goes. They've put GGG in the off lane, or Fly. I like GGG better. A little easier to say than Fly for some reason, even though it's one more syllable. But interested to see how he's going to perform JT in the offlane on this tiny, and he's got Tree Throw level 1. So if Guevara could get a quick 2, that makes JT susceptible here. You get a Shackle from a good enough spot. Firefly right on top of him with the Sticky Napalm, and you're in trouble. But meanwhile, over here towards top, Doodle just eating decays, and look at that, 16 lost strength down to 320 max health. Makes the Tango super value, but feels very bad. So, Guevara about to hit level 2. And there it is. Now he's got the Firefly available. I don't think that they know that Kaka is behind him. No level 2 skilled up yet for Tiny, and now Kaka finally shows himself, but we'll see if that's, you know, the right choice, because they've got the Shackle, and they will have Firefly for this if they, in fact, choose to go, but they get Avalanche to come out, and, well, now it's on a 20-second cooldown, but 3 Bangos here. This Tiny, Yes, aggression can come. If it's right from Sirius, they could get a kill. It just has to be proper, if that makes sense. I don't know what it is about water, but sometimes water is amazing. Sorry to throw in that fun fact, but it's just delicious. Which is weird, no flavoring. But definitely one of those things that keeps me going in a cast is good old H2O. Especially on a downtime when we haven't had first blood in the first 3 minutes. I could talk about some hydration. Hydration bot not in here. They get the scan out on HYM, so they'll know he's coming from around the back. Emo aware of this. We'll see if a rotation comes in. They've got Shackle and won't be able to line the stun up. D-Stones doesn't come forward with that immediately, and now HYM's going to pay the price. He'll pop a salve. He'll be okay. He'll force a salve out on Emo, but at the end of the day, that was a uncoordinated little gank attempt there, and it does force out some regen from the Zeus, who I believe is looking to get a bottle here. Well, just going 2 mangoes and a clarity, no bottle. Interesting choice. D-Stones gets his salved pop, but he's got a bottle. He'll land the stun. This should be first blood, and will be. Courier did, in fact, deliver its items. Not that it would matter. And 1-0 for Sirius. So they do get that first blood. I'm a little surprised Zeus was as willing to move forward like that. I'm also surprised that his regen and money's being invested straight in mangoes and not something, say, like a bottle.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
But now... Oh, did HYM notice that? I'm not certain he did. That little, a block, it seemed like. Leaves D-Stones by himself for the moment. Going back with the bottle, has a TP, so he'll bottle himself up in terms of mana, then bring it all the way back to D-Stones, although it won't be necessary with the salve being popped. But bringing back a full bottle will be nice. I think about the pacing of this game and what IG are going to need to do. They need to open up space here for GGG. I wonder how quickly we're going to see Sirius start to move around the map. They do have control, a lot of control aspects to their lineup. They also have a lot of pushing aspects to their lineup. Like Shadow Shaman, he'll be getting that Tome of Knowledge at 10 minutes. I'd like to see him maybe be 4 before then, or 4.5. Get that 6 as quickly as he can. Work with the Leshrac, work with the Diabolic Edict to push these towers and make it harder for them Morphling to farm. The longer IG can kind of slow that down and open up space here for GGG, the better off they are. They need this Morphling to get a couple of items here to be effective, and Zeus is definitely a hero that can open it up if he's given a moment. Definitely a struggle if you could find a Blink Dagger or get a couple of ganks on him. They've got themselves the Shackle, but HOM kind of committing to this, and no follow-up again from D-Stones immediately, but they've got the stun. They'll have the Post-Nova ringing. 3 heroes come over. Avalanche toss from JT. D-Stones in trouble and will die, as well as the Thunder God's Wrath taking out HYM. The Diabolic Edict cleans up Kaka. It's a 2-for-1, but very favorable for IG on a gank gone wrong. It's just movements like that from Sirius are going to lose them their opportunities. So, you know, it does happen. I think the communication's got to be there better. We've seen that a couple times from Sirius already. So if they could just fix the way they go after this, that would probably benefit them a lot more. Meanwhile, Guevara, he'll just use Sticky Napalm as well as get these creeps to come over. Firefly, burn them down, get level 6, have that lasso, and again, maybe we'll see some mobility and movements come out from Sirius. They dropped down the tombstone. Ollie, he's rotated over with Kaka. Pulse Nova ringing. Mad comes in. Blinding Light won't save the life of HYM.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Early on, it's just all IG kind of feeling these movements out and realizing that the rotations are coming in from Sirius and coming out victorious in these skirmishes. So they're happy with that. D-Stone's now moving in. Diabolic Edict once again, but they've got 3 heroes here. Blinding Light will push him back once more. Won't be able to take the tower. D-Stones will back off. HYM comes back again. And 8 minutes in. Yeah, he should be about 4.5, 5 by the time they get that tome. That should put him at 6, give him the Serpent Wards available to push these lanes, but when we talk about that, Arrow sidestep just barely by Guevara.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They'll still continue to spot him under this ward. Toss of Kaka onto HYM. They'll try to leave, but Avalanche available, Arrow as well. Unnecessary for the Arrow. They also have Decay coming through. They'll get the kill on HYM, and well, here by himself to try and get some solo experience, doesn't even hit 5, and will find himself feeding over a life to IG. Now, I talked about Sirius wanting to maybe put the pressure on these towers and shut down the areas where IG have the opportunity to farm, but as I say that as well, Doodle, he's trying to find as much spots to farm on this map as well, and we see him now in the jungle with these stacks using the Quill Spray. 65 and 5, we switch it to the net worth just about 10 minutes in, and we still see that he's behind. So as much as he's finding the top of the CS, GGG, he's having a great old time over top.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
D-Stones lands the stun as I say that, and well, GGG. Not really much worse for the wear, and we'll go full Agi. Meanwhile, they spot the Coddle. They'll toss him up. They get another kill. JT running in on Mad. 5-2 in favor of IG. And Bounty Runes going at least 2. 1, 2, 3 there for IG. Which is nice, to have the 3 Bounty Runes coming in, extend your lead, 2,000 net worth advantage. And right now, things are, going well. IG have countered every move that Sirius have made. And this kind of puts a wrench. Yeah, there we go. There's the saying. A wrench in the plan of Sirius, who are looking to, I would say, up the pace of this game with the pushing potential they have. Especially now that they've got Serpent Wards. Smoke comes out. We'll use that chakra magic. You're moving over towards bottom. 4 heroes here for the side of IG. This might end up being a bad fight here for Sirius if they're not too careful. Moonlight Shadow. They've got the Hex. They'll have the Shackle. They'll drop down a Sentry Ward and get one, but the Avalanche toss all of a sudden with the Thunder God's Wrath. 1, 2, 3. I mean, that was a very good counterplay again from IG. So
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
It's just aggression from Sirius that's biting them, and I think they kind of missed a moment there to just push. I don't know if they really need to fight. But if you can find your opportunities and find your spots to push, you're going to find spot.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I don't think you need to be exchanging or trying to exchange here. And they drop the Serpent Wards and they'll see if they can get a tower. But this is, again, without the Leshrac, where they like the Diabolic Edict to bring down this tower a little bit easier.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
I say that, but Leshrac busy taking the mid-tier one, which is good for them. It's a big tower to take.
Has been killed. Radiant are scanning.
Kaka taking out the courier. D-Stones comes over for the double stack.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Blink Avalanche toss. Blink is going to debut here, and JT getting the kill onto this Leshrac. D-Stone's shut down again, and he's now 1-3-2. It's become a problem, and well, HYM on the run. Wait for him forward. Avalanche again with the toss. They'll get the kill. Emo takes it. That's with the Thunder God's Wrath, and well, IG all of a sudden are feeling themselves, especially with the Blink Dagger picked up on JT, to just move around the map. They'll take this mid tower back, and you know, they'll even up the lane. And things have become difficult here for Sirius overall. You know, you give up that tower, you thought getting the mid-tier one was going to be fine, and, well, making these moves have not worked out, and at least overall for Sirius, their plan has been shut down. Looking more towards the mid-game here. They're looking for the pipe on the Bristle, if that'll help his survivability in these engagements. Ooh. They will spot the Undying, and maybe not what they want to get with that smoke. Maybe wanted a little bit more. Also D-Ward. And I think that Undying's happy to eat that gank, if you will, with that smoke attempt coming out from Sirius. Another leap available, and the attempt to TP. And we'll be there.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
JT.
Radiant structures
Taking out Mad and extending the lead to 11-4.
Fortune's change.
I could do with more of that.
A tie to the
Radiant's top
impurities.
tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen.
So they take the top tier one, they grab a bounty, and D-Stone's working on that. Yules is waiting for the courier to be back up. Thunder God's Wrath getting them some vision. You'll see this a lot from Zeus's to just get a feel for where everybody is, especially when they're off the map and you don't have vision of them. It's D-Stone's on the run. The tree tossed, and the tree gets a kill. At least on this skin, it is a rock shaped out to be a sword, but either way, it gets the kill on a D-Stones once again. He has fallen for the 4th time this game. Continuing to struggle on this Leshrac.
Are fortified.
Pick up this Blink Dagger for Bat Rider. He's got Boots of Travel and the Blink Dagger, so he could be at these fights if they want to get the lasso out. Need to be careful about going for it.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
They're in the trees moving forward. Definitely an opportunity to find a fight if they get the Blink Lasso. This is the reveal. They'll get the lasso out on to the Mirana, have the follow-up stun and the kill. D-Stones will get it. Everybody combines there to get the kill onto the Mirana, but now we'll see if IG are willing to fight on back.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
This is what I'm talking about, where Sirius can put some serious damage on these
Radiant's top
towers.
tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
pipe finished on Doodle. We saw how much damage he could output. They haven't shut down this Morphling yet, and he's got Ags to start this off. So Bristle spotted here for a moment. Ollie on the run. They'll use the Moonlight Shadow. They've got the Will-O-Wisp to keep him from TPing out. Emo, meanwhile, gets a kill onto this Bat Rider.
Perfect.
And, ooh, they find an arrow here. HYM's been spotted. Avalanche and the toss. That's going to be a second. And I believe lag for JT. So, quick pause. The other game, Aster against CDC, which appears to not have any coverage. I don't know. I want to track Dota and there's no streams. CDC up 500 gold about 12 minutes in. How's SCCC doing on the gyro? Not that great, honestly. Still GGG going into the Lincoln Sphere. Not being touched. Look how far ahead he is compared to Doodle. A full 2,000. I mean, that is quite nice when you've been given so much space to kind of farm. You've been seeing a lot of Sirius just kind of staying up in this top spot. And it really has just opened this map for a free-range Morphling. Similar to how we advertise free-range cows here. You just have all the land to do whatever you want. And while Morphling's been doing just that, continuing to farm with, well, nobody bothering him. At least in this instance, he's not even geotagged, and Sirius, they're still looking to kind of, I would say, find a plan as, oh, there we go. Culling Blade to kill that Observer Ward. Find a plan with their push potential. We haven't really seen them commit heavily to the push. They've done it like maybe once over top. They did a bunch of damage onto the tier 2 as we could see it down to 300 health, but since then they haven't exactly moved to go forward, you know, for anything more. And Doodle moving forward, good Will-O-Wisp, but is it going to cause them to get anything? And gets cleaned up pretty quickly because the Morphling's here. GGG gets one on the Mad, the Decay hits on the Doodle, and that is what he's doing. He's turning into his own Undying, has the ability to throw down a Tombstone, and is stealing strength. Huh. Wow.
My waters rise.
So gets another kill, 3-0-3. Still maintaining the lead, and, well, Doodle doesn't die there, but it pressures them back, and they don't get to push any of these lanes, really. Doodle was going for a BKB, switches over to the Sanj and Yasha. Shrek, meanwhile, he's going into a BKB. 3,000 gold saved up, and then, of course, we saw the Lincolns here for the Morphling picks up the Ulti Orb. Zeus going Ags, JT going kills, as he has just blinked on top of this Kato multiple times. Good Flame Break, bringing him back into lasso range. They'll drop the Serpent Wards down. They've got the Hex. They should be able to get a kill here despite the Soul Rip, and will. But here comes GGG. Wait for him forward, and HYM on the run. He ends up surviving for now, but with the urn on him and Ollie right there, the decay will finish him off and get the kill. Now in front of the eyes of Doodle is GGG. He has turned into a bristleback of his own, throwing quills out and throwing viscous nasal goo made of, I would assume, water, but well, GGG goes in too far and finds himself dying to D-stones. This is going to be a third. They've got the Undying dead to rights. And all of a sudden... Oh, Kaka. All of a sudden, Sirius take a chunk back. Okay. I don't know if I was expecting that result. Overconfidence hurting GGG. So that's the net worth down to about 4,000. Experience, though, very much still in the favor of IG. And 82% chance from Dota buff. So IG maybe still feel a bit comfortable. That move from GGG questionable. But it's a move pre-Lincoln's that I think goes a different way if he's got it. So, you know, not too far off the 850 gold needed to finish that Lincoln Sphere and find more confidence when fighting into the hands of Sirius. But all that time given by him now backing off for that Lincoln's, the gold given their way, it could turn into something. As HYM did again, he's now 2-8-4, just kind of sacrificing his life for the space of his cores. You've got Doodle, who's gone into this Sanjin going BKB, Blink, Basher, Guevara going into a BKB. He's picked up a 4-staff as well, and then a BKB for Leshrek. So if they get these BKBs out on the cores of Sirius, maybe this starts to turn a bit. But Zeus, he's got his Ags, he's got Nimbus ready, as we saw it was thrown there bottom. He's going into a Kaya, he's got Aether Lens. Like, everything right now for him is quite set. And JT, who's having a monster 8-1-5 tiny game at the moment, he's got Shadowblade Blink and about to finish off that Echo Saber. So he is happy and ready. You know, happy and ready to continue to just steamroll.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Thunder God's Wrath comes out again, and that is off the smoke attempt of Sirius. Arrow comes out, but they've got the lasso with the 4-staff. Nimbus is actually going to miss, so they'll follow it up with a stun and get the kill into the Mirana. Kaka dying, and they pick up a bounty rune, but 2 bounty runes there, and I believe 3 for IG overall. So they get that kill, and well, they still continue to see themselves at a growing deficit because the bounty runes are controlled by IG and the map is controlled by them. Something I continue to reiterate here is just the fact that they have not scratched the surface of this morph. Yes, they killed him when he was getting overly aggressive, but look at the time and the space he's getting regardless. Continuing to just farm and farm and farm and have a 2,000 net worth lead continuously over the carry of Doodle. Whirl-Wisp comes in, Hex, good shackles. That'll hold this Tiny close, and despite the Nimbus, it won't matter. They'll get the kill into the Tiny, and that is a big one there for D-Stones. They drop Serpent Wards down for it as well as the Will-O-Wisp, so that will be on a relatively long cooldown, but we'll be back up at about the same time. Just a second apart. We'll see if they do anything once it's back up again. But the Yule's into the arrow. Quick kill there on Guevara. IG showing their power as well. And that doesn't require them to use any ults.
my eyes closed.
So, Roche being taken by GGG. Illuminate will come in and spot this. They've got Doodle nearby. They might even want to go for this, but they don't have a Will-O-Wisp to go in on, so it's a hard sell on whether or not they want to go in. Roche getting low. Nimbus dropped down. No entry, and GGG just grabs the Aegis. They take the first Roche. Not much you could do there without the ulti of Shaman or the Coddle, so.
Where'd you go?
Throw that Thunder God's Wrath again to get the vision on Sirius. No smoke coming out on that. Sometimes you'll see a Zeus just throw it so they have an idea of the positioning before they smoke and go. He's got the Lincolns, he's got Aegis. Killing Morphling once is a task. Killing Morphling twice is also a task. And it's going to be hard here for Sirius, so I think you have to open up the map different ways and look to push. Try to find the, ways to draw them thin. Throw Serpent Wards over, TP back to the shrine, try and fight, get somebody to rotate over, but instead they're a lot more content with just allowing IG to take over the map and push in these lanes.
Illusion.
Radiant are scanning.
So we'll go for the top tier 2 again, and now we see at bottom where maybe they rotate and throw Serpent Wards out, but Nimbus to counteract that. And that's what's great about being Zeus with his Ags. Just throw that Nimbus, clean up a push.
Allies disappear.
And, just continue to extend your lead. And they use that Moonlight Shadow. They look at where the side of Sirius is, realizing they're corralled inside the base. They'll go over towards the shrine, get some aggressive positioning, led by GGG. Again, who's very hard to kill once, maybe twice. And we see the power of this Morphling as he easily cleans up HYM.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
The prize is mine.
Hex out.
Bottom tower has fallen.
Doodle needs to be careful. If they're gonna try for GGG, like, they need to do it when he loses his Aegis.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Again, I'm not certain you want to fight into it. They're gonna pressure on, and he'll turn into the tiny.
Radiant structures are fortified. Darker structures
Toss
are
back
fortified.
Doodle and continue to try and take this tower. They force out the glyph. They drop down the tombstone. GGG now hexed. He'll lose the Lincolns, but Force Staff back and no problem. Willis comes in. D-Stone's trying to make something happen, and they're committing a lot to this on Sirius with no results. Meanwhile, Avalanche thrown at Doodle. He'll eat a lot of that damage and not really care. Finally, the Willis hits. Arrow coming through, not going to land. They've got the Hex. They'll pop the BKB with the Shackle. And there is the first life. So opportunity here as they do have the lasso available. But they pop the Lincolns. Guevara, I don't know what you're thinking there.
Dire's middle tower
Ether Shock thrown as well as the Nimbus. That'll get HYM. and now start to open up this tower in the base of Sirius.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
We'll go for this Rax, and Sirius, like I said, have no answers. Arrow not gonna land. He'll turn into the Shadow Shaman through the Ether Shock. They've been here long enough. They have another Tombstone. The one shackling Doodle is GGG on the Morphling. Now the Yules comes in. They've got the Spirit Vessel. They won't throw an arrow, but the Nimbus dropped down. D-Stone's low on health with the BKB popped. Able to walk away, but just barely. Doodle, meanwhile, 26 stolen strength. 36. God, just getting your strength sapped from both the Undying and the Morphling. Shackle, BKB, GGG, okay with the Avalanche Toss coming out from JT in a really good spot. Take out HYM as well as, man, they've got the stun out onto GGG, who pops the BKB, able to survive, waveform over, and he is fine. They should be able to clean up Sirius. They'll get themselves a third. The buyback comes out from Man, but it's not going to matter. Kavara trying to run. Spirit Vessel on him, and there is the Avalanche from JT to clean him up. Triple kill there for the Tiny. And they lose nobody again. And GG is called by HYM.
Radiant victory.
So overall, just a very easy game there for IG. Early ganks gone wrong for Sirius. Never really got their feet moving on the beginning of that game. And IG, 11-2-5 there for JT. 6-1-11 for Emo. GG, 5-1-7. Your cores die a total of 4 times total. A total of 4 times total. Yes, that makes sense, Ben. And yeah, I mean, from start to finish, all in the favor of IG, and Sirius just, again, never getting the ball rolling. So we'll see what they can do with Game 2. I'm your caster, BCop, at BCop92 on Twitter. Follow me to know when I'm casting. Follow me to pad those follower numbers anyway. Maybe I could get that verified sticker. Probably not, though. So we'll be back in just a moment. I'll be in chat. Love you guys a lot. And we'll be back in just a moment. Thank you so much.